Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, my friends. How are you? Are you doing fabulously amazing on this fine Monday morning? I'm guessing that you are. Now, just as we are getting ourselves prepped, organized, and ready, I wanted to share with you very, very quickly the reminder that unapologetic as fuck is starting today. Hello, Kurt. And I am very excited. We are kicking off in, hey, Georgina, kick off in about half an hour. So really, really excited for the first lesson to drop in that. Now I'm just getting the link up in here. All right, happy Monday. So what I thought I would talk with you about today are this comes up a lot with clients, and particularly, from what I've heard from you guys, when you're looking at branching into something new, branching out, doing something different, changing, whatever, self-doubt can kick in, right? If you haven't had there's two things. If you haven't had the experience before, there's no evidence to show you that what you want to do for you is actually going to work. Or you've already had some experience and you've got the evidence that what you used to do works, but when you're getting into that mode of kind of like pivoting, changing, adjusting, self-doubt can really kick in. So what I wanted to share with you is a 4 things that you can absolutely rely on, and most of you will have a preference, either one, like the first, second, third, or fourth. Like, so you can work through all of these 4 gateways, if you like, these 4 motivators, these 4 things that you can do in order to start moving forward past the self-doubt. Because what self-doubt does is, as we know, it tends to cripple us. It kind of like shrinks our creativity, and it can stop us from moving forward. So that's not helpful, because you've got people to help, you've got things to do, you've got money to make, you've got courses to create, books to write, things to do, people to see, and the world to change. So you will find that there'll be 4 out of these 4 things. There'll be 1 or 2 that really resonate really highly with you. So the first one is sensory. And what this means is that if you're really sensory driven, you will like to have things looking really nice. You will like to have things sorted out. You will like to have maybe your house being nice and clean and tidy, having a nice clean and clear desk. I know not everybody is driven by this, but I know for me, this is also something that I'll do if I'm finding it really hard to concentrate, if I'm finding self-doubt being really big in my world on a particular day, or if I feel like things are just really hard. The thing that I'll often revert to is tidying shit up. Now, yes, it's a bit of a procrastination mechanism, but it also gives me some thinking time and some thinking space. So for me, when things are nice and clean and clear and tidy and put away and the dishes done and my office is nice and things are clean and clear, particularly my desk is clean and clear, I feel like I can actually think, and it doesn't build up the self-doubt, right? So once everything is clean and clear, I feel like, right, I get more ideas. I feel like things can start to move. I feel like I can really get into action mode. So that's the first one. Now let me just write this in here. So number 1 is, I'm going to call it sensory motivated. So it needs to look good, sound good, feel good, that kind of thing. Yeah. So I'm going to pop this in here so that as you're listening, you can be like, yes, that's definitely me, or no, that's definitely not me. So if things smell good, if my house smells good, if there are things in their place, I feel like I've got a smoother direction into moving past the doubt or the procrastination or whatever it is that's going on. So it's actually a tool that I use to kind of really get grounded. So the first one is sensory. Now, an example of this, when I was very first starting out in business, way back in 2010, one of the things that I used to do was, if I was feeling really pressured, hey Nicole, if I was feeling really pressured, I would go through and make sure that my carpet was vacuumed perfectly with the lines in it, if you don't mind. And that was a little OCD because it gave me some sense of control. But this wasn't about control in these days. It's more about just giving me a nice, clean, smooth, easy way of being able to start and get into things. The second thing is some people are really motivated by and can eliminate self-doubt by learning or by studying. So to me, the way that I think about this is like, you know, if I really love listening to books, business books, more so than novels. I like to read novels. But if I'm feeling a bit of self-doubt, again, another thing that I might pull out is a book on Audible or something like that, or a study, a reference book, something like that, or something that I'm really curious about learning. Or I'll listen to something on YouTube, or if I'm in a course, I'll go and make sure I'm doing the course and doing the learning that comes along with that. So for me, again, self-doubt, from trying to eliminate that and trying to eliminate procrastination or eliminate not doing the things that I know that I should be doing. This is a really big one for me, because often what will happen is I'm listening and as I'm learning, it's almost like in NLP, what they talk about is getting past the critical factors. So it's almost like you've got this gateway here. So you can come in the conscious mind, and then there's a gateway, and then to get into that, the back end of your brain, your unconscious mind or your subconscious mind, you've got to bypass that gateway. Now, sometimes what can happen is like if you're trying really hard to force through that gateway, it just doesn't work. So we're going to kind of come around it a little bit more and kind of like sneak past the gatekeeper. So these to me are ways of sneaking past the gatekeeper so that you can do what you want to do, what you know you need to do, what you know you should be doing, which is marketing and selling, the two core things of any business. If your business is going to be successful, you've got to know how to market yourself and you've got to know how to sell. Otherwise, you've got nothing to sell and you won't make any money because people won't know how to give it to you, right? So marketing and selling are really key. But self-doubt can be that thing that just kind of gets bigger and bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger. So we've got to bypass that conscious brain, because it's the front part of your brain that creates self-doubt, right? It's like, oh, no one's going to show up, no one's going to do anything, no one's going to buy me, no one's going to buy my stuff, this isn't working, who do I think I am? Like all of that stuff is at the front of your brain. So we want to bypass that and tap into the unconscious bit and get you into action. So the first one that you can do, like I said, is that making sure that everything's all kind of like nice and neat and tidy and things like that. The second thing, and this is not in this order, it'll be a different order for you, maybe. The second thing is learning, right? So having the chance to sit and learn, absorb and read, and then feeling that sense of inspiration from there, hearing that other people have gone through this feeling of doubt, feeling inexperienced, imposter syndrome, or trauma, whatever it is that you help people with, can be another way of moving past it. The third thing not in this order again, not in this order necessarily for you. The next thing is movement. So, you know, we all know, hey, Maria, like thanks to Tony Robbins talking about it profusely at any given moment, at any given time of the day, all over the place, motion creates emotion. And motion creating emotion, which then creates motivation, right? So to me, movement and motivation end up in the same kind of train. So the thing that you want to do here, and I think this is what I will do often, is you've got to get out of your own way. You've got to get up and move, because if you're sitting here and things are stacking up and you're feeling worse and worse, or more stuck, or more doubt, then the only way that you're going to be able to change that record or that script that you've got rolling through your head is to get moving. So you've got to get moving. The fourth thing, so movement, and then the fourth thing is the emotional response, the emotional connection. So with this one, this is where you might hop on the phone and talk to somebody. Like connecting can be a really important thing for a lot of people. So for me, out of these four, My first one is absolutely the one that I've told you about. It's like the sensory. If my house is a mess, my brain feels like a mess. I feel like I can't do what I want to do. I feel like I'm really stuck, and I can feel really hard. It can feel really, really hard to actually get moving. The second thing that I'll do is I'll generally move, right? So usually for me, it's that sensory, getting everything feeling good, looking good, sounds good, all of that stuff, and then I'll move, or I'll be moving at the same time that those things are happening. The next thing for me is around that emotional connection. So the third thing that I like to do in terms of getting past self-doubt or trying to get myself motivated is finding someone to help. Like, quite legitimately, it might be reaching out to a client to see how they're going. If I know they've been having a bit of a tough time, hey, Kristen. There might be someone who I know has celebrated something really awesome. I'll reach out to them. It might be hanging out with my kids or my husband, whatever it happens to be. I'm looking for that emotional charge, that emotional connection to help move me and get me out of wherever it is that I've been kind of stuck. The fourth thing that I'll look at for me personally is around that learning. So you can combine some of these things, right? So you don't have to do them in order, but what you'll find, like behavioral personality profiles and things like that, you'll probably find that one of these tends to work more often than not. So what I want you to do today is to actually have a sit down and think, all right, when I'm struggling, when I'm procrastinating, when I'm not doing what I know I should be doing in terms of maybe marketing, selling, creating content, putting yourself out there, delivering on your stuff, editing, doing reports, whatever it happens to be, what is the thing that usually can get you motivated in a different scenario? What do you think out of those four things, how would you rank them 1 through 4 being the most important? Because if you can get all 4 of these happening, then you will find that you have a much easier movement through the day. You'll find that you are more motivated, you're more productive, you're more inspired, you're more insightful, you're more intuitive, you're just more powerful in general, actually. So that's something that you can do. I know for me that one of the big things that I'll do in the morning before I even start, that's not true, not before I start. So I get up early, I have my tea, I do my breathing, I do my work with my clients at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then I'll go for a walk. When I come back from the walk, I make sure that everything is all nice and easy. I'll do my workout at home, and then I'm like, okay, I feel like, so I've got movement in there, I've got the emotional connection in there because I've walked with my husband. I've got everything laid out. The only thing that I then need to do is do some type of learning to really have that power there. And so generally for me, one of the things that I'll do is I will be looking over a particular process. I might listen to a module of a course. I might listen to a chapter of a book while I'm working out, which is what I've been doing lately. So rather than having music going, I've got a book playing so that I can tick all 4 of these in the morning before 9:30, I'm kind of like firing on all cylinders. So that is something that I do. Now, I know many people have used these things before. I think it's really, really important for you to use them and for you to do them. And the more that you know about you and what really motivates you to get going and in what order, the easier and quicker you'll find you'll move past self-doubt, the quicker and easier you'll find yourself moving out of procrastination and into action. And when you're in action, you're actually out there helping people, you're making money, you're marketing, you're creating impact, you're doing more and more of the things that you are here to do with the people that you, of course, want to do them with. So I trust that that is helpful. Just a quick little kick in the pants and a bit of an exercise for you today for a very, very fabulous Monday. We have got Unapologetic as Fuck kicking off in half an hour. If you are not in there and you need to be in there, the link is in the comments and in the title of the coffee run today. If you're listening on the audio, come over to the Facebook page and you will see it pinned to the very, very top of the page. All right, everybody, have a really fabulous, awesome, and ridiculously amazing day. I can't wait to see you till tomorrow. Have fun. Get out there, go help some people, have a whole ton of fun doing it, and remember that the world is ready for your brand of awesome. Bye.